Thanks for joining us again. We've got another beautiful plant to present to you today. What is it, Jared?
So today we'll be talking about Aristaloe Aristata.
It's quite a mouthful, and it's also called a lace aloe, I think because of the tips, and a torch plant because of its beautiful flowers and the stems they grow on. So these originate in South Africa and Lesotho, so pretty far from where we are.
Yeah, so as you can see with this plant, it's a very beautiful dark deep kind of green for most of the leaves, and you have these little white bumps and specks which basically track across the whole plant. Further to that, you do get these little white tips towards the edges, and they will get to about 20 centimeters tall or 15 centimeters wide, which is about 8 inches tall and 6 inches wide. And you can expect that these guys will get stems when they flower, which will get up to about 50 centimeters tall.
Yeah. And
on those you'll get orangey kind of pinkish flowers, which can get to about 4 centimeters wide.
Yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous when you see them. Wonderful, wonderful things to see. So where we've got ours located are in a couple of different positions. So we've got some of them indoors, which is
probably this one here.
Best way to go, this guy as well. So they're on just a window sill, facing outside obviously, so they get plenty of indirect light, which is what they need, bright indirect light. You could also put them outdoors as long as they are shielded from direct light.
So these two here have got a lot of, they've been outside, as Gareth was saying, with indirect light as well.
Yeah, like one's in a greenhouse and one is under an eave, which again gets no direct light. So that's the two places you could grow them so that they'll thrive. If you put them in a full sun location, Jared will talk about what would possibly happen.
So in terms of care, what we'll touch on first is just a couple of the basics. Firstly, you want a well-draining soil. As usual, we would recommend kind of a normal soil mix with sand, 1-to-1 ratio, possibly with a little bit of perlite. Further to that, you also want to make sure that when you do water them, you water them deeply, and then they can tolerate periods of drought afterwards. So just go off the leaves and the soil like we always say.
Yeah, they're happy to have the soil dry out, aren't they?
Yeah, they can tolerate it.
Yeah, 100%.
So further to that, as Gareth touched on earlier, in terms of lighting, you can also tell with these plants if they're starting to
not enough or too much.
If they're a bit starved for light, or if they've had too much. So when they're a bit starved for light, they tend to go a much lighter green and become quite elongated with their leaves. When they are starting to get burnt, you'll find that they'll get a much brown kind of colour, and they look healthy. They look healthy. So that's just two things to bear in mind with them in terms of the light and the location. The last thing I probably would say with that is just basically, if you're going to repot them, the best time is to do it in spring. By no means does it mean you can't do it at other points in the year, but it's the best point to have them recover the best after you've had it done.
Yeah, we have actually repotted one and taken a video on propagation for you as well, which we'll put in there now. Okay, so here we are in our potting shed, and we've got our mother plant with a lot of different offsets coming off the main plant. You can see a lot of them are very, very green, but some of them do have a bit of browning on them because they've been seeing a little bit too much sun. So we're going to pick a plant that's looking healthy, so it'll give it the best chance to turn into another plant. This just pulled straight out. Just got the roots there that are the important things. Just clean off any extra dead leaves because it's more likely that the plant won't get root rot if you remove those. And then actually another thing you can see on this plant is that it has an extra offset. So this plant already has extra plants growing off of it, so that's a bonus for us. And we'll just pop that into just another pot. I'll probably just grab a little bit of soil and just place it around it, just so I can cover that root. And then I'll just compact the soil, and we should have a brand new plant. how good's that? These plants are so simple to propagate. It's another reason that we love them.
Yeah, so that was a great little video there on propagation. Thanks for putting that together for us, Gareth.
No worries. A very easy subject to work with, or plant, I should say. So, no, very, very simple to propagate, as you saw.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up for today, guys. In terms of what we love about this plant, for myself, I would say just the ability for this succulent to thrive indoors compared to other succulents. So what would you say for you, Gareth?
No surprises here. I love propagation, so I'm going to say so easy to propagate if they're grown in the correct conditions. So you'll get heaps and heaps of plants.
Alrighty, well, thanks for watching, guys. We hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah. Throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.